Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool back again with another Epic 7 video guide for you guys today. And today we're going to be talking all about MolaGora. Now if you guys don't know what MolaGora is this thing on your screen here. It is used to actually skill enhance your units and make your skills more powerful. For example, if we look at Sermia here and we click skill enhance, you can see you go to the interface where you'll be required MolaGora for the first few skill enhances only. And as you get to higher ranks, you get bonus effects, more improved effects, but they will also cost catalysts as well as MolaGora, and they will go up to about 4 MolaGora for the last rank. And you're going to see that some of these are very strong, right? 10% damage dealt adds up. If you get all these MolaGoras done for Sermia's S3, you're going to see that it's a 40% damage bonus final damage. So it's very important to do for your units, and it becomes a bait for a lot of newer players because a lot of newer players just end up MolaGoring or skill enhancing everything. Now 3-star units don't cost MolaGora, which is why I recommend using a lot of free to play units, 3-star units that are good if you can, because you really want to save this currency, because it is a time gated currency. You won't be able to get this every single day by farming. You will actually be time gated. You can only get a certain amount every single month. You're going to see a lot of my 5-star units here, even like my Milan, right? You don't see them fully MolaGora because I'm being very conservative. Like my Tenebria, for example, here, you only see her S3 at +2. I wanted to finish her out, but I actually ran out of MolaGora. So you guys have to be really considerate with how you use your MolaGora, right? Like, for example, my Sigrid I use all the time, my Wyvern one-shot team, I have her maxed out. So you don't want to build everything, just build or skill enhance the units that you really use all the time and that are actually good, because you're going to end up wasting your MolaGora. And if you have an account that runs out of MolaGora and you can't skill enhance anymore, then you're kind of playing a waiting game, which is pretty lame, right? You have to be very careful because, like, for example, my Holiday Euphine here, I skill enhanced pretty decently, right? Because she was pretty meta a long time ago, and now she's not really used at all. So I pretty much invested almost 30 MolaGora into her, and I don't use her anymore. So it's pretty bad. 30 MolaGora is almost like 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe of farming MolaGora from these shops. So it's a lot of wasted resources. So you have to be very careful. So that being said, that's what you want to be careful about, right? So what do you actually want to use your MolaGora on, and how do you want to use them? For example here, right, there's actually a lot of ways you can get the full benefit out of your units without even fully MolaGoring them. So for example, if I look at Asaria here, right, I use Asaria all the time in PvE. You're going to see that first of all, I don't even have her 6-star because she's a support DPS. She's on really budget gear. She is not even fully awakened at 6 stars. She is pretty budget, right? But she still does her job perfectly fine because of what her kit does. She's not built to do damage, guys. She's just here to actually decrease defense, put unbuffable, also reset the cooldown, especially of like Tamarin, right? So yeah, those are the only things I have enhanced. You're gonna see I have her S3 at -1 turn cooldown because that's all she needs to do. There's no more effect chance at all after that. It's all just damage, and I don't care about her damage at all. So I stopped at +3, and her S2 as well, I maxed it out at the cooldown reduction. If this was switched around, it was -1 turn cooldown at +1 and +2 souls acquired at +2, then I would even stop at +1. But since the -1 turn cooldown's at the +2 value, we actually went to +2. And even though our S1 actually has increased effect chance for the decreased defense, the chance is so low that I did not bother increasing it to save MolaGora. And you're going to see, like, just having this at +2, her S2 at +2, and her S3 at +3, she's a fully usable, pretty much, fully capable unit for any PvE hunt team. Now for PvP it's a little different. If you want to use her there, you might want to bring her up a little bit, but for PvE you can get away with investing very little into your units. Another example of another PvE unit that is very good on low MolaGora investment is Tamarin. Now Tamarin is very weird because Tamarin, you guys might think, oh, I have to fully max her because I use her all the time everywhere. That's wrong, because she doesn't do any damage, right? So you don't have to do her S1. This is all damage dealt. Her S2, although it does extra healing and combat readiness, it's not too much of a deal, to be honest, for PvE. You can even have this at +0 and it works. You're going to see I have this at +5, mostly because I had some extra friendship MolaGora and friendship points, from +10ing her on friendship, and just kind of wasted some as well early game. And her S3 as well, I have her at the -1 turn cooldown, which you really want this one. At the very least, you want to +1 her because this will make it so her shining star is 8 turns instead of 9 turns, and you want her S3 on an even turn value so that you actually get this within 4 turns instead of 5 turns when you use your skills, because every time you use a skill on Tamarin, it will reduce the cooldown of your shining star by 2 turns instead of 1. So yeah, you really want to make sure that you actually +1 or S3, and that's all you really need for a unit that is used pretty much everywhere. Another good example for PvP, right? We have another soul weaver here, would be like Maid Chloe or even Ruel. So let's talk about Ruel. So for Ruel, she doesn't do any damage. Her S1 healing is pretty pitiful. You're not really using her for the S1, so I don't really have her S1 Mola at all. Maybe in World Arena, if you're going to play her in the super high ends of PvP, you want to MolaGora this because the fights last really long and you'll get more value. But a lot of the times when I play Ruel, guys, I actually hold on to my skills a lot, right? You're not going to use your S2 and S3 on cooldown. You're most likely going to hold them for a very, very long time until you really need it. And until that time happens, you're not taking that much damage. So it doesn't really matter if you, MolaGora her S1 that much because your team's not taking that much damage anyways. And when you actually do end up using her S2 or S3, it pretty much will top off any unit that you use it on. So you don't really need that, extra healing from your S1. So for that reason, I don't have Mola in her to her S1. You're going to see that for S2, I have some extra healing. I didn't max it out because I don't think I need it. And you're going to see, like, once you get to the later stages, like I said, it starts costing like 3, 4 MolaGora. So what I did is, stopped, enhancing it. Honestly, you could probably get this to +4 to be super cheap. It only costs 4 MolaGora. And then, you don't have to +5 it because that costs 3, right? So you're pretty much getting 5% healing for the cost of 15% if you think about it that way. So you want to be very, very, conservative with your MolaGora. And then her S3 I have on the 1-turn cooldown because sometimes in Guild Wars I have to use this more than once, right? So another example, Maid Chloe, you honestly don't really need too much in her S2 because, the healing is nice, but it doesn't heal that much. I have some healing with it. Her S1, it's really up to you. If you use her as a stun bot, you can actually, enhance this more, but I don't really rely on the stun too much because it's very RNG. And then her S3 is her, revive. I have the cooldown reduction on that, which you really, really need. So yeah, I only really recommend enhancing her S3. Her S2, you can get away with just a few points, and her S1's really up to you. So yeah, you can see that a lot of support units, you don't really need to invest too heavily into them. You can actually get away with putting a very little MolaGora, and it works perfectly fine. Now let's talk about damage dealing units. So damage dealing units, this is where it's a lot different. So damage dealing units, as you're going to see, every single point into skills are going to give you damage. Now Ravi's S2 will give her CR, which will in turn give her damage because she takes her turn faster. But yes, you are going to get damage from everything. So you're going to see I have my Ravi at +15. I even have her geared still. This is very, very important to do on your damage dealers. You want to actually max them out, especially if you use them for PvP, because you're just missing out on a lot of damage, and that's all they really need, right? Just by increasing your skill enhances on your units, you can actually get away with dropping some of your damage substats to do the same amount of damage as if you didn't have them enhanced, and then you can put them into bulk, making them a lot more effective. The thing is, if you +15 a unit, guys, there is no refund option in this game yet, so you're going to be stuck with this unit at +15 with no way to get your MolaGora back. And for example, with Ravi here, like I'm showing, if this unit falls out of the meta, which he already has, then I'm kind of sitting here with my wasted MolaGora. And it comes to a point where I don't want to de-gear her either because I've already invested super heavily into her. So she's not that strong right now, but I still have her on pretty, premier gear. And I still use her a lot in PvP, even though she's not meta, because I feel like it's just such a waste that I have her geared, but, I just can't use her in PvP. Like, this is pretty decently geared for Ravi. She might be a little bit low on speed here, but she does crazy damage for what I need. So very, very sad, but that is the state of the game. So for damage dealing units, guys, you have to be very careful with what you actually skill enhance because you won't be able to get it back. And also you're probably going to end up +15ing them. So you want to end up using your MolaGora on fail-proof units that will always be in the meta. An example is Landy, because Landy is such a strong PvP and PvE unit. You'll see I have her at +15, and she gets a lot of damage, right? So you definitely want to +15 a unit like Landy. She's very usable everywhere. Even if she drops out of the meta for PvP, which she never really does because her kit is so good, then you can always use her in PvE, and she's extremely good in a lot of areas of content, right? Another example would be like Seaside Bellona. So Seaside Bellona used to be very popular in PvP. She was extremely powerful, first picked all the time in World Arena, but she actually dropped out of the meta for quite a bit, and people had her at +15, but it was fine because people used her all the time in PvE, so you lose out too much value on her actually because she's used in PvP and PvE, right? The thing is, I have her on my Wyvern one-shot team, so even if she's not good in PvP, guys, like I always have a use for her because I need all this damage. But in PvP, she's starting to come back, so you can start using her again. So fail-proof units are very good. Another free-to-play option for you guys probably might have are going to be your not your selective summon, your Moonlight Blessing units, right? So your Spectre Tenebria Arbiter Villager, right, you can go plus 15 them and they'll be useful pretty much all the time because they're both useful in PvE and PvP, so you don't have to worry too much about it. So those are good candidates as well. Just damage dealing units, guys. If you're planning to plus 15 a unit, make sure you guys know that you'll use them for a very long time and think very carefully, right? Don't just go around spending your skill enhances on everything that you see. You want to be very conservative with your MolaGora because this unit of currency is very time gated and you won't be able to farm it like other games you might be able to. Even for 4-star units, they also use the same MolaGora, so you have to be very careful. That's why I recommend, guys, if you guys can use free to play units, 3-star units, right, that are good in PvE and PvP, it's very good option because they don't cost any MolaGora to skill enhance. And even if you fully invest into them, you're only wasting catalysts, right? And catalysts are farmable while MolaGora are not. And a lot of the time the 3-star units you invest in, like Adventure Ross, will always be good. This unit is crazy strong for PvP and PvE right now, so I definitely recommend building a unit like him, like Angelic Montmorency, Commando Arena, Falcon of Curry, right? There's a lot of options you can build. So that being said, that's pretty much it for MolaGora, guys. You guys have to be very careful with how you spend it, and also if you guys do end up plus 15ing a unit, make sure you guys feel like you'll use them for a very long time in a lot of areas of content, so you guys don't feel like you wasted out, because there is no refund option yet. Hopefully Smilegate implements one soon. Maybe not like at will, but maybe once a month, once every 2 months, once every 3 months, once every PvP season. They gave us like a currency so that we can actually refund the unit. So yeah, that being said, guys, hope this video helps you guys out, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.